I have discovered a secret ancient philosophy that can literally make anyone invincible. Do you ever just think that for some reason life is just against you and that there's this dark force holding you back and preventing you from making your dreams come true? Do you see other people effortlessly getting what they want while you're grinding day in day out, yet you're still struggling and with nothing to show for? In just a second, I'm going to reveal how you can use this secret ancient philosophy to crush every single one of your goals. So not only will you be able to achieve so much more by using this secret weapon, but it will also allow you to live an insanely fulfilling life. Principle number 1. Let adversity shape you into a stronger version of you. The thing that you need to realize and to accept is that pain is an inevitable part of life. I used to think that whenever something bad would happen to me, I had bad luck. Life was against me. Life hated me for some reason. But the thing that you need to realize is that the world, the universe, has nothing against you. It's indifferent to our suffering, to our problems. There is no dark evil force trying to prevent you from getting what you want. That is what people tell themselves to justify, to rationalize why they don't have the things that they want in life. Oftentimes, they're just not working hard enough. They're just not sacrificing as much as they need to. Understand this: the universe does not care about you or about me. There is no dark, faceless, mysterious entity that wishes to see you fall. Pain is simply a part of life, and we need to accept that. If you're constantly trying to run away from the pain, you'll never achieve anything, because the things that you want, if you want to get in shape, if you want to make millions of dollars, get laid or find the love of your life, all of those things will require work, time, and perseverance. They're not just going to fall on your lap one day. The thing that one day I understood and that truly changed my life is that in life it's mostly about your perspective, not what actually happens. To give you an example, let's say somebody doesn't get a job. If they start to play the victim, they'll think, oh, I deserve that job. Why didn't I get it? Life just hates me. I just have bad luck. But is it going to change anything about their situation to think like this? Of course not. It's only going to put them in a negative mindset and to make them even more miserable. And believe it or not, but we have some cognitive biases, like the confirmation bias, that skew reality depending on what we believe to be true. So if you think that life hates you, that you're unlucky, believe me when I say that you'll see more and more events, more and more things happening in your life that will confirm that belief that you're just unlucky and that life hates you for some reason. I'm sure you know those people. They always have problems. Like there's always something going wrong in their lives all the time. Their life is literally a movie, a dramatic movie. So while you might not decide exactly what happens in your life every time, you get to decide your outlook on life. And so naturally this means that you can use it to your advantage. You can turn even the worst situations in something that you can learn from. And if you can do that, that will make you invincible. Understand that the obstacle is the way. It teaches you, it's a lesson. It allows you to move forward. Because like I said, life is suffering mostly. So if you're always scared of pain, you run away from it, then whenever you face an obstacle, you'll just crumble. And negative emotions are a gigantic source of energy. From a very young age, I was angry, I was frustrated at this life, and I knew I wanted a better life for myself and for my loved ones. But instead of letting that anger, that frustration consume me, literally kill me, I decided to tap into it, to channel it into reaching my goals. And starting today, you can make the choice to do the same. Principle number 2, focus only on the things that are within your control. Grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This quote literally tells you everything. I know that with the hustle culture people, they say you need to work harder, longer, better, do this, do that. And in a way, we fool ourselves into thinking we have full control over this universe because we build buildings, houses, we have all of those evolved technologies. It looks like we just control everything. In reality, we don't. The outcome is never fully within your control. You only control one part of the equation, and that is your effort, how long you work, how much you work, what you do. But in life, you need to understand that you can do everything right and still lose. And the best example I give to illustrate my point is that you could be driving perfectly safely on the road, yet a drunk driver is going to hit you full speed, and there is nothing that you could do to avoid that tragic fate. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but you only should focus on the things that are within your control. Because think about it, it's a waste of time and of energy to get angry and to focus on the things that you simply can't change. The things that you can control, change them, do your best to fix the situations that you don't like. If you're broke, you can always try to work harder, you can always get another job, you can always start a business. You can do something about it. You're not forced to stay broke your entire life. It might be difficult as hell to get out of that tough financial spot for some people, but if you just think it's over, then you'll be right, it will be over for you. Now if you can't control something, what should you do? The only real option that you have is to change your perspective about it. To give you an example, if you had a really tough childhood, you can't really change that childhood. It's in the past, it happened to you, but you can change the way that you think about it. If you think that your childhood is the reason why you're not where you want to be in life, then you'll make that come true. It will be something that will limit you. However, you can take a completely different perspective. You can choose to see that negative childhood that you had as something that motivates you to work hard every single day and to never give up, because you know you deserve better than that tragic life. Quite frankly, a lot of people are just going to find countless excuses to explain why they don't have the life that they want, but in reality they are not willing to change their perspective, because truthfully it's hard. It's hard to stop focusing on the things that you can't control, because we want to have the illusion that we can control everything, like I said. Now you also need to be very careful, because you don't want to solely obsess on the end goal. Like if you want to be a millionaire, you don't just want to obsess on making $1 million, or if you want to see your six-pack abs, don't just focus on seeing that six-pack abs. Why? Because you will not get that end result immediately. If you're overweight, obese, you're not going to see your abs in 1 month. If you're broke and you decide to start your first business, you're not going to become a multi-millionaire in just 90 days. And that's why if you just focus on the end goal, day after day you're going to wake up, you'll see that your reality is still the same. Nothing has changed in your life. You're not a multi-millionaire, you don't have a six-pack abs. And most people, that is why they quit. It's not because they lack the intelligence, the skills, or anything. It's because they're not consistent long enough to get what they want. I can tell you that if every obese person on the planet followed a healthy diet for like a year, they would lose a lot of weight, but most of them are not going to stick to it long enough to see initial results anyway. Think about people and their New Year's resolutions. They say they're going to stop smoking, to go to the gym, to start a business, to get a better job, but how many people actually follow through with their New Year's resolutions long term? If you go to the gym, you'll see plenty of people in January after the Christmas break, but then those same people, you'll stop seeing them. Understanding that the outcome is never completely within your control, it's actually going to free you. Because to give you an example, I could publish this YouTube video and it could get 10 views, let's say, it could flop completely, or on the opposite, it could reach 100,000 people, 1 million people, or you could reach out to a potential customer and it turns out they're not interested. So instead what you want to do is to focus on your daily actions, on your effort, on what you do, because you have full control over that. You don't have control over when you'll be a multi-millionaire necessarily, but you have control over what did you do today to get closer to that goal. Because at the end of the day, you've got to do your part. Life has to do its part because you need to provoke your own luck. But if you don't put in the work in the first place, nothing else is ever going to happen. You won't get jacked just because you want to. You won't become a millionaire just because you asked for it. You need to do your part, and then you need to let timing do the rest. And studies have shown time and time again that people who solely obsess over the outcome and who hate the entire process, they actually never even reach that outcome. Why? Well, think about it. If you despise what you do, how long are you really going to stick to it? At the time I'm making this video, we don't even have 2,000 subscribers, and you would be surprised to learn that we are actually already in the top 70% of YouTube channels. So this means that most people, they'll never even get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and the reason being they quit way before reaching that milestone. In any area of life, relationships, business, health and fitness, if you just don't quit, if you have the ability to persevere, you're already ahead of 99% of people. You're pretty much guaranteed to at some point get what you want. Principle number 3, choose the hard way. Hard choices will lead you to having a good life, while easy choices will lead you to having a miserable life. And by easy choices, what I mean is that most people, when they wake up, they grab their phone, they open up TikTok, Instagram, they start to scroll, mindlessly consuming content that doesn't help them in any way. Then they have to force themselves to get out of bed and to go to school or to go to a job that they hate and that doesn't even pay that well. And then when they come back, they just play video games or watch Netflix, microwave some garbage food from the supermarket, and then they wonder why they don't have the life that they want. They're making all of the easy choices. So of course, life will not be that great. The people who make the hard choices on a daily basis, you get up early, you go to the gym, you work on your business, you eat healthy, you read, you meditate, you journal, you take care of yourself, you do the hard actions that you need to do right now to build a better life for yourself and for your loved ones in the near future. If you can do these things, I can guarantee that the quality of your life is going to significantly improve in the next couple years. But most people are not willing to put that initial amount of effort and of sacrifice. Like everybody wants to get rich, you know? Everyone wants to make millions of dollars and enjoy the top 1% life. But very few are actually willing to sit behind a computer screen and to do boring work for 8-10 hours a day. You've got to understand that wanting great things does not make you special. It's going after what you want relentlessly that does. If you truly want to change your life, the first step is to start forcing yourself to do hard things, the things that you don't want to do. To give an example, one of the first things that I do every day is to exercise for an hour up to an hour and a half. By doing this, I start my day by doing something challenging, something difficult, and it builds up a lot of momentum that will carry on with me throughout the rest of the day. Because one thing I can guarantee is that when you start your day by doing an intense workout session, you don't feel like watching Netflix or browsing TikTok after that. You feel ready to go and to conquer the world. Now, choosing the hard way will also do something very powerful for you. It will allow you to learn to control your emotions, to stay calm in tough situations. Truth is, people with great emotional control, it's not that they don't feel negative emotions. It's not that they don't feel pain. They feel the pain, they feel the negative emotions just as much as anyone else, and sometimes even more, believe me. However, they learned with practice and with time to detach themselves themselves from those negative emotions. That way, they are not distracted by them. They don't let the negative emotions control them. And how do you learn this? By going through pain and by sucking it up. There is no secret. And you've got to understand that we suffer more often in imagination than we actually do in reality. Most of the things that we actually imagine, they never even happen. A while ago, I was a depressed, anxious kid who was also broke, by the way. But to reach my goals, I knew that I needed to do so much more. I couldn't just feel sorry for myself and hope that I'd become successful. So when I got sick and tired of it, I started to force myself to get out of my comfort zone literally every day. Anytime I would be afraid to do something, I would force myself to do it anyway. I didn't care how I felt, I just forced myself. And if I hadn't done that a couple years back, I would not be where I am today. I wouldn't be making this video, I would not have a profitable online business, I wouldn't be in shape, I wouldn't have overcome my social anxiety, and so much more. You've got to take that first step. Principle number 4, be disciplined. I know it's easier said than done, but you need to learn to do the hard things, and that is especially true when you don't feel like doing them. Sometimes working is the last thing I feel like doing in the world, but I know that if I don't do it, I'll feel bad for it, because I'm not going to make as much progress as I could have. I despise like missing a workout. I literally exercise every single day, and even when I'm sick. Truth is, most people know what to do to reach their goals. They know that if they want to lose fat, to give you an example, they need to eat healthier and move more. The problem is that people don't stick with something long enough to get the results that they want. And something else that you need to understand is that you need to act more than you think, because only actions will give you results. You need to fail forward fast. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take time to think or to come up with a plan, with a strategy, but oftentimes, let's be real, it's easy to get lost in the details, to plan this strategy forever, but then you never actually take any action and do anything. Because I can tell you one thing right now, somebody getting started in business and who starts to reach out to potential customers, even if they don't have the perfect outreach message or the perfect niche or offer, they'll get customers faster than you. Why? Because business is not about how talented you are. It's not about how smart you are. It's about what are you willing to do and how long are you willing to do it. And speaking about business, if you're a beginner, you want to start your business, but you have no clue how to start, no idea what to do, I have recorded a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular online business model. Together we take a look at the pros, at the cons, and I am also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can start implementing right now today to start your business and to get your first customers as soon as possible. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. Principle 5, do the right thing. Let's be honest, how many of us often do the thing that we know we shouldn't do? Like you want to lose weight, but you think, oh, you know what, let's go and order a pizza. You want to build a thriving business, but you think, oh, today I'll just take a rest day, when you didn't really work that hard the previous week. Doing the right thing is doing the things that you know you should be doing and avoiding the actions that you know you shouldn't be doing. It's about making better choices, because all the small, seemingly insignificant choices that you make on a daily basis, they influence the quality of your life a lot more than you probably realize. Because I can guarantee that right now, if you take the time to carefully analyze your life, to look at it from a bird's eye view, you'll realize that your current situation is simply the result of all of your past actions. So all of the choices you've made in the past, they have created the situation that you're in right now. So starting now, if you start to make better choices, you do the right thing, you make it a habit, you follow that principle to a T, your future will only be better. Because I can guarantee one thing right now, you could show me what a day in your life looks like, what a week in your life looks like, and with 99% accuracy, I would be able to guess what your future life is going to look like. At the end of the day, we are not in a Hollywood movie. There isn't one single heroic moment that is going to transform your life. Success, or your lack of success, is found in the things that you do on a daily basis. So show me your routine and I will show you your future. Principle 6, never let yourself get corrupted. Now this one is about sticking to your values and to your principles. To give you an example, if you want to start a business because you want to live an abundant life, a life of true freedom, a life that makes you fulfilled, if you start talking about it to people, let's say in your surroundings, and they don't really understand you because they all have a job and they don't really get why you would want to start a business, they will most likely try to discourage you from starting on that journey. But if you do listen to other people, if you let them corrupt you, then you will end up miserable, let me tell you one thing. Because the most miserable people, they are the ones who go to med school and who end up becoming doctors or lawyers only because their parents wanted them to, not because they actually wanted to. At the end of the day, you've got to live your life for you. And on your deathbed, I hope that you'll be at peace knowing that you stick to your values and to your principles. Because at the end of the day, what good is all the success in the world if you can't even look at yourself in the mirror? Principle 7, stay rational no matter the situation. Staying rational is about listening to logic instead of listening to your emotions. It's about making the right choice even when you are under pressure. Because most of the time, let's be real, it's your emotions that are making you do the thing that you shouldn't be doing. When you go and watch Netflix, instead of doing an extra hour of work on your business, you listened to your emotions. And emotions are fine. They are what makes us human. I'm not saying that we should demonize emotions or have no emotions at all, because otherwise you wouldn't be human. However, you need to be very careful. Think about when you're angry. You're just going to break stuff, you're going to say something that you shouldn't say. And then how do you repair that situation? Oftentimes, that giving into your emotions is going to do a lot more damage than good. So that is why you need to train yourself to act based on logic as opposed to listening to your feelings and going along with them. Principle 8. Practice gratitude on a daily basis. The thing that I realized is that if I were to focus on all of the things that I don't have, then I would be forever miserable. We've already talked about the fact that success is found in your daily routine, because you need to be doing something long enough, over months, over years, to actually be successful at it. You're not going to get 1 million subscribers on social media and be a popular influencer in just a week. You're not going to build a great, muscular and strong physique in a day. Chances are you're not going to find the love of your life by talking to the first person you see on a dating app. Every single great thing that you want, it is going to require work, time and perseverance. And winners never quit, winners don't make excuses. But the tricky thing, especially with social media, is that it makes us compare ourselves literally all of the time. And the worst part about it is that you are comparing your average day to the best moments, the highlights that people are willing to show you on social media. You can take a look at my Instagram. I post pictures of restaurants, of nice cars. I'm not taking pictures of myself when I'm taking a crap, and it's for an obvious reason. And let me tell you that if you constantly do things just to please other people, even if that's not what you want to do, you will just end up miserable. In my opinion, people pleasers are probably the most miserable people on the planet, because they live for everyone else but themselves. They're not being truthful to their own values and principles. And if you are always focusing on beating other people, trying to be better than others, what you fail to understand is that there is always going to be somebody stronger than you, wiser than you, smarter than you, richer than you, so that game is unwinnable. But at the same time, you can choose to see somebody ahead of you and let that make you depressed, crush you, or you can decide to see it as good news, because it shows that if some people are in better shape than you are, or they are richer, they're smarter, it means that you have a long way to go and you can learn. You can get better. There is room for progress, for improvement. But as you can see, it is all a matter of perspective. Now, it's not exactly true that you should not compare yourself. However, you should only really compare yourself to who you were yesterday and try to do better every single day. When I go to the gym, I'm not necessarily trying to do better than the other guy, because I don't know his goals, I don't know his life circumstances, and quite frankly, I don't care. Instead, I focus on me personally doing better than what I did the last time I went and crushed that workout. Instead, I focus on doing better than the previous time, but I'm essentially in competition with myself. So if you apply these 8 Stoic principles, you will honestly become invincible. Now, like I said, if you want to start your own business but you have no clue where to start, the video that will analyze every popular online business model is in the link in the description below.